Hey everybody, Mrs. Norris here. So today is January 19th, 2021, and tomorrow is our presidential election where President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris are going to be sworn in and will take office. So it's important for us to understand how the inauguration process works and why it's such an important ceremony to American politics. So, to get a better understanding of those ideas, you're going to be completing a module called Inauguration 2021. So, by the time this video is recorded, you will see this tutorial on your home page, as you can see right now. It's not there quite yet, but my goal for this tutorial is to walk you through the different pieces of the Inauguration 2021 tutorial so that you understand or have kind of a better understanding of how to complete each task. So what I'm going to do before I get started is I'm going to get rid of myself over here. I'm distracting myself, and I want to make sure that you focus on what you're supposed to do for the assignments within this module. So let me get rid of myself real quick. And let's get started. So I'm going to begin by clicking on, and I don't want you to do this, I just want you to watch what I do. I'm going to click on the inauguration link. And it's going to take me to my inauguration module. Now, right now it is 9:13 a.m. and my first class of the day doesn't start until 10:10. So if you direct your eye down to the bottom here, you'll see that this module is going to unlock at 10:10. So if you attempt to open this module before then, if you're in my period 2 class, then you won't be able to because it's locked. For my other classes 3, 4, and 5, your modules open at the beginning of your class. Okay. So you can see that each task is here under our Inauguration 2021 module tab. We have an introduction, which you'll be required to read and then mark as done. You'll have a discussion where you are going to contribute to a discussion about what you know and what you want to know about the presidential inauguration. And again, I'm going to walk you through this now, each of these tasks, so you'll have a better understanding. You have an activity of 5 facts. Again, another discussion piece where you are going to watch a video and then submit a question response. You have an activity, an assignment, what happens on Inauguration Day, where you need to submit something. Another discussion, how Inauguration Day 2021 will be different, where you need to submit a discussion. Who are Biden and Harris? So a quick introduction to our President-elect and Vice President-elect, where you again will be submitting an assignment. A return to your KW, but this time learn. And then finally, the culminating project for all of this, an infographic. So let's start up at the top here. So for the introduction, it's just the learning outcomes that I expect you to know, understand, and do for this module. So I would like for you to know the answer to this question. What happens during the presidential inauguration, and why is it an important ceremony? Hopefully by the end of this module, you'll understand that the inauguration process is governed by tradition rather than the Constitution. The only constitutionally required procedure being the presidential oath of office. During this ceremony, the new president takes the oath of office and then delivers the inaugural address. So what you're going to do is you're going to research the key details about the upcoming presidential inauguration and apply what you've learned to the creation of a presidential inauguration infographic. So this is a self-paced module. The assignments are going to open up as you complete each task. Now for the actual year 2021, this module is due on Friday, January 22nd. When you're done reading this, you're going to mark it as done. And on your screen, you will see in the top right corner, a mark as done button. Okay, so let's go to next. So here we have a discussion and the presidential inauguration. What do you know? What do you want to learn? And in the discussion box down below. You're going to first make a list of the things that you already know about the presidential inauguration. Create a list of at least 3 ideas about things you already know. It happens after an election. It's something that happens from the president, something that the president does to become the new president. What do you already know? And then through the course of this activity, this module, create a list of at least the 3 things that you want to learn. And we're going to return to those questions. So please make sure that you include 3 questions that you hope to learn, have answered through this module. So you're going to write those 2 things here. 3 things you already know and 3 things you hope to learn. And then when you're done, post your reply and click next. All right, for this next activity, your task is to watch the video. It's very simple. We're going to watch the video and then make a list of the 5 facts discussed in the video below. A short video, it's just a little over a minute. And so while you're watching, just make a list of the 3 things. Now, I'm going to play it really quick.
Inauguration Day didn't always happen in Washington, D.C.
So I'm going to write, number 1, it wasn't always in D.C. Okay, and then I'm going to continue to watch what she says about this.
The first took place in 1789 in New York City.
And I'm going to write, the first one was in 1789 in New York City. So any other information I can get about that one fact, I'm going to write it down. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay. So once I've listed the 5 interesting facts that are discussed in the video, I'm going to go ahead and post my reply and then click next. Okay. Now we have a short video again up at the top that's going to kind of give you a preview of what Inauguration Day is. Okay. And then the first thing that you are going to do is, after you watch the video, is you are going to make a copy of the file Inauguration Day Reading Activity. Don't forget to add your first and last name. When you're done, upload your work to Canvas. So if I click on this, it's going to want me to make a copy. So I'm going to make a copy. And then I'm going to make sure down here at below, I'm going to write my first and last name. And then my class period. Okay. And that an extra step would be to get rid of the copy of. And then complete this task. So for this task, there's a very short reading section, and then you're just going to use that reading section to answer the questions. Again, short reading section, use that reading section to fill in the blanks. Short reading section, again, questions, and then final reading section, and then questions. So once you're all done with this, return back to the assignment and upload your work to Canvas. All right, let's look at the next piece. In the next piece, we have another discussion thread, and it says why Joe Biden's inauguration will be like no other. And this is a link to an ABC news article from about a week ago or so. Directions. Use the video below to help you answer the following questions in the discussion thread. And we have 3 questions. Why are inauguration ceremonies important? If it is something as talked about in the learning outcomes, if it's an inauguration is not something that the Constitution tells us that we have to do, the whole ceremony piece, then why do we do it? Why is it important? So I want you to get that out of the video. Number 2, in what ways will the 2021 inauguration be different from inaugurations in the past? And number 3, do you think Biden and Harris should still have an inauguration? Why or why not? So that last question, number 3, there's no right or wrong answer. It's really more about you and what you think based on everything that's been happening in the last 4 years, and even just in the last 4 weeks, do you think that it would be wise to continue to have an inauguration? Yes or no? Why or why not? No right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion that you support with evidence. Okay. So again, it's a discussion thread. You're going to hit reply and then post reply when you're done, and then click next. Okay, so here in this activity, this assignment, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning about our president-elect, Joe Biden, and then our vice president, Kamala Harris. So I've got 2 files here that I need to download or make a copy of. So I need to make a copy of Kamala Harris. And again, I want to make sure I put my first and last name. And my class period. If it's off the way that this is, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal if you want to move it. If you're like me and you're very particular about that kind of thing, you can do so. And then again, I also want to get rid of the copy of Kamala Harris. Okay. And then, so here it's a list of 7 questions, and you are going to use this slideshow here to answer those questions. Now, it's also important because you're going to need this information for the final activity to make sure that you're actually reading the information, not just for the questions, but also for your own knowledge. So you're going to use this slideshow to answer the questions about Kamala Harris. Okay, I'm going to go back to slide 1. And now I'm going to download the Joe Biden document. And again, I want to make sure that the first thing I do is change the name to my first and last name. And then my class period. And I'm going to take off copy of. And then again, same thing. We have some questions about Joe Biden that I'm going to use this slideshow to help answer. Okay. And again, you're going to want to read this information because it's good to know who your leaders are and what their background is, but also it's going to be something that you're going to want at the end of this module when you complete the infographic activity. Okay. So it says use the slideshows to complete the assignments, and finally upload your files to Canvas when you are done. So once you're done, you're going to upload these 2 documents to Canvas. Now, one thing that might be easy to do, or easier to do anyway, is to download this as a PDF. So my suggestion is to go to File, Download, PDF, and then the same thing for Kamala, File, Download, PDF, because when you do that, it's easier to upload 2 PDF files than 2 Google files. So that's just a suggestion. And you are going to submit the infographic activity as a PDF. Okay. So again, when you're done, upload your files to Canvas, and then the next activity will open up for you. Okay. And now we're going to return back to that inauguration discussion from the beginning. So you should have created a list of at least 3 questions you hoped to have answered. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that previous discussion where I'm going to want to return to those questions because I, as your teacher, want to know if you actually got your answers. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to answer in the discussion thread below is what are 3 big takeaways that you learned from this module? And a takeaway is going to be anything that you find as interesting or surprising, or that would be a big idea, an important idea about the topic. And the topic is the presidential inauguration. So 3 big takeaways for you, the things that are going to stand out to you as what you remember the most from this module. And then going from your discussion thread earlier, which questions were answered. So whatever questions I had that were answered, I'm going to write the question and then the answer that I got from the module. Okay, so if I asked, what time does what is the date of the presidential inauguration? And I found out through my research that the date is January 20th all the time. That I'm going to write that down. My question was, my answer is. Okay, now are there any questions that are still unanswered? So if you never feel like you found the answer to that question, write that question down and then use the internet to find the answer and type it below. Okay, so again, this is a return back to a previous discussion where you don't just forget about those questions that you were asking, you actually return to them and see if you've answered them. All right, when you're done, you're going to post your reply, and the next final assignment will open up for you automatically. And this is your final putting it all together assignment. This is your big picture showing me what you learned. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to use Canva to create an infographic project that shows what you learned from this module. So if I click on Canva, it's going to take me to the website. And while it's loading, I'm going to go back to my instructions. So I'm not sitting here staring at a blank screen. And it says create an account if you don't already have one using your Google student email. This is important so you can save your work. So you'll see that I'm already logged in. And what that means is that projects that I've already started, like the inauguration infographic, it's already open to me. So if I didn't finish it, I can return to it to make any changes or fix it at all. So for mine, it's got the instructions in the front. You don't need that. It says to keep your infographic to one page. So here would be the infographic that I'm working on. Okay. So title your project first and last name, inauguration infographic. So I already have inauguration infographic. I just want to title it with my first and last name. Okay. And I'm going to go back. And these are all the things that I need in my project. So I need a main title. And if you can't think of one of your own, then there's one that you can use. You need section headings. And each of these links takes you back to the post where you should have learned that information. So if I click on it, I'm going to open it in a new tab just to show you. This is where you learned about some facts about the inauguration, okay? And then there's also I've provided for you some additional links to outside web pages that are going to give you information as well. So just in case you want to learn some other new things about the inaugurations from the past, okay? What happens on Inauguration Day? So that will take you to the assignment, what happens on Inauguration Day, so that you can see the steps. Again, I've also provided you with some outside links to help you in case you need some extra help. Okay. How will 2021 be different? So that link is going to take you back to that discussion thread. Facts about Joe Biden and facts about Kamala Harris. And each of these tells you how much you need to have. So 3 ways the 2021 inauguration is going to be different. 3 facts about Joe Biden, 3 facts. I'll change that to Kamala Harris. And then finally, if I were president, what would be the first 3 things you would do as president of the United States? A minimum of 3 colors, a minimum of 4 images, and then pro tip, add all of your text first and then go back and add your images and then keep your infographic to 1 page. Okay. So we have here a rubric that shows you what I'll be grading on. And then you have an example layout, and you don't have to copy this layout. This layout is just an example. If you want to see examples of other infographics that are not about this topic, then that link will take you there. Okay, so here's some other examples of infographics. All right, so when you are done, you're going to download your project as a PDF. So it says use the button in the top right corner between share and print infographics. So if I go back, here's share and here's print infographics. So it's this button here. If I click on it, I want to download it as a PDF, and then yours should only be 1 page, mine is 2 because I've got the directions on there, and then I'm going to download that. Okay. And then going back to this, I'm going to upload my PDF to Canvas. I'll change that as well. So again, please make sure that you read through the things that should be on your project, that you familiarize yourself with the rubric so you understand. It is a 100-point project, 100 points. You're uploading a PDF and it is due by Friday. Okay. And it closes on the 5th. This is again, if you're doing this in January 2021. It closes on the 5th, which means that the no more late work will be accepted for this module after February 5th. All right. So once you are done with this infographic, once you've uploaded it, then you are done with the module. If you return back home, at least right now in January 2021, you have an extra credit project that you can be working on. Or if you look at your grades and there are any late or missing assignments that you need to work on, you can do that now as well.